We do it without him.
Did anyone text him?
No. Welcome to the CouncilCast. This is episode 211, being recorded on May 24th, 2022. The council is now in session, and as with every week, we will make arbitrary decisions about topics on science, technology, and random shit.
Random shit.
With little background and next to no expertise. All CouncilCast decisions are final and have no bearing on anything whatsoever. Well, welcome back to This Week in the CouncilCast. Thank you, everybody, for joining us last week in what may be the shortest episode ever.
Well, this is unexpected.
He found us.
So was your entrance.
Is Silas all right from the UK?
Silas is live from Brian's basement.
Brian!
Yes.
I'm good. I'm super glad that we're recording in my terrible, terrible accent is going to be on the internet until the end of time. Oh, I
That's
saw
okay.
a tweet.
We can fix it in post. It's okay.
I saw a tweet today that is
What's
so
that
fucking
accent
true.
supposed to be?
It's Canadian.
Cockney.
Canadian.
Australian.
So I saw a tweet today that having been to Scotland, I can super confirm, or can't I? The tweet was from somebody that is from Scotland, and it says, "In Scotland, we stopped doing the accent when you guys aren't around." I sent it to a buddy, and he sent back, "I knew it."
That'd be funny.
Well, I'm glad you got your computer fixed.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
So
Just
what was
built
wrong
a new
with
one.
Everything.
Everything. I replaced basically every component in the computer.
It was the thing that was wrong with it was the least likely thing to be wrong with it of all time.
And then he
Like
got a GPU.
CPUs are never fucking bad.
I don't understand.
I don't think I have ever had a CPU go bad. And like I told you, when we worked at Iowa State over the course of 4.5 years, I think I replaced maybe two. One
That
for
was
sure.
usually because of
And it
water
was after I
damage.
replaced everything else. And Dell was like, "We're not going to give you any more parts. You clearly don't know what you're doing." It's like, if the CPU is bad, how the fuck am I supposed to diagnose this thing accurately? Unless you have an extra one of that CPU lying around, right? And if it's, and like we had a lot of the same machine lying around, but you didn't want to take a known good CPU from some customer's machine and shove it into something that might fry it, right? Because you don't know.
Turns out I need 2 new processors.
Oh,
now.
that was, I think I went to Gene at the time, or Rick, and was like, "So here's the deal. I don't know if it's the memory or this." Well, I know I must have, because we could test memory. But I think I was like, I don't know if it's the board or the CPU, and I want to just order both and replace both rather than having to screw around with trying one and seeing. Yeah. So he called up Dell, and they were like, "Fine, whatever, we don't care."
Here you go.
So they said both.
Yep. Well, there you go. I had a bad CPU, so
That's fucking crazy.
go figure.
We'll find out if that's what happened tonight.
Yeah, we'll find out.
in about 30
No,
minutes.
he said I would expect that it has fixed it, because he said the
Prime 95 test
the
didn't give me
test
errors
stopped
anymore.
giving errs.
If the Prime 95 test doesn't give you errors, but Riverside still crashes,
Then we declare where Blaine lives a disaster area,
And we nuke it.
and
Do not
like,
bring any computers here.
That just means there's like some neutrino test going on near him, or
we would need to reach out to Riverside directly, and we need to say, you need to take this computer and you need to troubleshoot it.
Yeah,
And
it's
also
like
you
you're
need to
just
buy the
sitting
computer.
way too close to the Mankato super collider.
All that high energy particles.
How come it
hit
says
my-
we have one in audience?
Oh, that's probably Blaine's connection.
Oh, are you on YouTube?
No, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I just it says there's 5 participants and then 1 in audience.
Blaine
Do you
connected
see what I'm
with
talking
a
about?
different
Oh, yeah.
with a guest account.
Up next to the counter, timer.
Oh, so you're our fan.
I'm the fan.
You're our only fan.
Yeah, I was connected
But,
as the producer, but it must have not kicked me out for some reason. Eh. Anyway, well, something that might have been generated by a particle collider is the mysterious doorway on Mars, where little green men come out of it.
The basement?
Yeah.
Like
It's
from the
the
movie
basement to
when
Mars.
the face to Mars opens up. What's that? Mission to Mars, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty
Remember?
cool. Yeah,
Remember? Brian remembers.
I remember. That was a good one. That was a good Mars movie.
I used to rent that, I think, from Blockbuster. It was one of the ones. I used to rent that movie, and I would get Alien books from the library. Explains a
And
lot, I think.
Makes more sense now. Did any of the movies or books talk about a doorway to hell on Mars?
No.
Whoa, you said it was just a doorway to a little.
Wait, a doorway to
it's a doorway to
hell?
hell?
Yeah.
There's a song about this, except it's the
It's-
highway to the
No,
doorway to hell.
Stairway to hell.
No,
Now this is
Stairway to
definitely
Heaven.
the doorway.
A highway to heaven.
The stairway to
It's-
hell if you play it backwards.
It's definitely not. No.
I
The-
think we need
the-
to
the
send
article
a
says-
marine
the
to
art-
Like a space
Mars.
marine.
no, just like a marine that
marine
randomly picks
animal?
up weapons and then starts shooting people. Or the
Oh, that
humans.
kind of marine.
Yes.
Otherwise
Yeah,
known
yeah.
as the
And then he will
Doom
be
guy.
immortalized as Doom Guy.
and then further go on to be further immortalized as Doom Slayer.
You know what
So
happens
are
when you
you
play
telling
records
me-
backward?
Are you telling me that this doorway
What?
is the doorway to doom?
It is the
According
first.
to the scientist, it says no. It's not.
What the
Wait,
fuck
they
do they know?
specifically address that concern?
They
Yes.
did. They said-
No.
They said it is not the entrance to a video game's dungeon level.
Amazing. Okay, so kind of. Wait, is the person that's in charge of this research, is their last name, what is it, Hayden?
Yeah, Hayden, Dr. Hayden.
Dr. Hayden? Is it Hayden? Are they slightly cyborgish? And by slightly, I mean entirely.
Says,
No.
And are they
um,
lying to us? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, who knows?
Do they really know? Absolutely.
That's most
not.
Have they
likely.
flown the little helicopter to it yet? To
You mean the one that
I
investigate?
don't think
landed
so.
the rover?
Yeah, it's flown
Does the
like
thing still have fuel?
the helicopter's solar powered.
Oh, that was a solar powered
Yeah.
thing?
But it's actually running out of juice because there's not a lot of sunlight right now.
Wait, this thing still flies?
Yeah, it's flown like
Yeah.
16 missions.
How did I not know this?
It's your Mars drone.
What?
Mars?
Do they
Yeah.
use the rovers as little landing pads?
Basically.
But on March 11th, it aced its 21st flight.
Where do they have it fly to? Is there just some dude with goggles standing here
It flies
with
up
like
about
V?
No, it flies up 3 feet, hovers, and lands. But it's done it 21 times, so impressive.
Do they
there's
use it
actually
to
a
blow dust off the panels of the?
That's what it is. That's the purpose of the blades, is to blow dust off the panels. To recharge it so it can
Oh,
jump up
God.
and blow dust off the panels.
They've got a map of all of the flights,
Wow.
Straight up, all of them.
or a
I
bunch
didn't
of them.
know that they had a. I didn't know that this was a thing. I thought it was only used for the landing procedure stuff.
No, this was like basically like a little RC helicopter that.
Wait,
It's
was this?
controlled.
Was it not part of the landing procedure at all? Then it's like its
No.
own thing. Okay, so
Yeah,
did they
so
land
its own
this one the
thing.
same way they landed the first one with like the sky crane thing, or did they do it a different way this time? You know what
They
I'm talking
used-
about with like the thruster thing.
Yeah.
And it's like it was like Charlie Day explaining how like we were gonna land something on Mars. It's like this is fucking nuts, and then it totally worked first try. Like,
Yeah. Ingenuity was packaged with the Mars rover, and then it took off for the first time from it, and it's
Yeah,
just been flying
I
around.
didn't follow this landing as closely as Curiosity.
But it uses just an off-the-shelf ARM processor, like a Qualcomm.
Oh, they didn't
Yeah.
use like a hardened
No,
radiation hardened. I mean, I guess, do they need it on Mars? You only really care during like travel itself for the most part. Like if you're I can't remember, does Mars have its own magnetic field or is it dead?
No, it's basically dead.
Okay, well then you would care.
Yeah, it's using a Snapdragon 801 processor.
Huh.
Wait. So if it doesn't have a
Really?
magnetic field, then when we colonize it, how are we going to know how directions, like how to get around places?
We're gonna put magnets at each end.
Yep.
Well,
I mean,
they had to
it
put
does.
magnets here too. They got the North
It
Pole.
does
and the
have
South
a
Pole.
magnetic field. It's just super tiny.
Dude, that's pretty nuts. They should have
the-
used. They should have waited. They should have waited around for the M1 chip, and they could have done a lot
I'm just
better
surprised
flying.
they didn't use a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, because
They-
they're too expensive right now.
Like they didn't. They put this thing up there because they had extra weight capacity on the rover, and they're like, "Can we actually do this?"
Oh,
and they
this
did
was added as like a just kind of like icing on the cake kind of deal.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a let's try it and
What?
see what happens.
You know, some
They-
fucking engineers were like, "Oh man, this is gonna be dope."
The yeah, it's pretty sweet. They
That's fucking
actually
sweet.
didn't.
That's
know
way
if it was gonna
cooler
work.
now that I know it was just a tag along, basically.
They didn't
Well,
know it was gonna work.
they should be able to roughly know whether it should work. Like we know how flight dynamics works and like
Yeah,
all that shit.
And they did some low pressure testing, but like
What,
it
like they
spins.
didn't, like before they went and flew it here on Earth, they didn't like tell it was a high pressure situation. They were like, no pressure. It's just, we just want to
Well,
low air density.
Bad joke.
Yeah. shitty joke.
So is this helicopter going to fly into Devil's?
I hope
So
whatever it is?
most likely not, because it's not the Perseverance rover that saw this. It's actually
The Devil's
Curiosity
Butthole.
that saw it.
Butthole.
I mean, they can fly. It can fly, so it'll just go from Perseverance to Curiosity.
So is this like a hole in the ground, or what is
Sure.
this?
No, it's like a doorway cut into the side of a mountain. It looks to me like one of those things in the Valley of Kings in Egypt.
Well, that's what it looked like on Mission to Mars. Isn't it, Brian? Is Mission to Mars where the one where the face opens up and goes in, and then like there's like the star chart like thing, and like it's a bunch of like, and like the aliens are like, "This is where you live." I mean, they don't talk, but that's kind of how it goes.
Which one is the one that has the dog that's also a helicopter?
I think it's that
Robot.
one. That's the one where there isn't that the one where Mars is like kind of, sort of, partially terraformed.
Was that with Tim?
Hold on, I'm googling it because Mission to Mars is the one where the dude dies because he takes off his helmet because he's getting too far away, and they miss the shot with the thingy.
And
Or you
let's
think it's
just
Total
also
Recall?
No, that's that's that one. That's where Arnold can't breathe because they're turning off the. Give these people air. That's when they need to give him air.
Is that
It's
the
also-
British accent you're doing?
No, that's Arnold. That's Austrian.
Because they sound the same.
They are the same. They're the
Throw
same
another
place.
shrimp on the
When you're from the U.S., it's the same fucking place. It all doesn't matter.
let's just also
Um,
mention that Curiosity was launched in 2011, and it's still trucking.
Gary Sinise.
Yeah, Curiosity. Actually, I think I just saw something where Curiosity is basically dead. It's got so much Mars dust on it
Wait,
that
really?
it can't. Yeah, like it can't recharge
Well,
itself.
send the chopper over.
Send the chopper.
Get to the
That's
chopper. Send the
that's my-
chopper.
English accent. that I'm-
Yeah, this is totally it. Brian, remember the aliens? Oh man,
No, I
they don't
remember
look
the
so
movie.
good now.
Yeah. Gary Sinise is not so well.
Every time I see his name, I'm
Oh,
like,
sorry,
is it
no,
Sinise
it's-
or Sensei.
It's the Insight lander that is dead. So
Okay.
Was this before or after Shawshank?
during.
During Shawshank. Huh.
You know what?
That's amazing that Tim Robbins was able to get out of the prison, go to Mars, and get back in prison without anyone noticing. And then he escapes
I
again.
think we should have a Mission Impossible Mars.
Mission
He dug a
Impossible to
wormhole, not just
Mars.
a
Mission Impossible. Right? Yeah, I mean Tom Cruise. Here's the problem though. Tom
We
Cruise
could
would be
see
like,
Tom
"I'm
Cruise-
fucking going to Mars, bro. I'm really going." And he would like petition Elon, and he'd go. He'd like ride the SpaceX rocket up on the side, and his insurance company would be like, no
One take.
way."
You
Yeah,
do this
like,
all in one take,
Yeah, it's
and
all.
then like half the
One
movie
take.
would just be him running across Mars.
There you go. He's just running across the planet. There's a fucking video of a
Just
guy
like
doing
20
running
minutes of
styles.
him running.
Maybe they could get him a little helicopter and they can carry him around
What's
Mars.
the gravity
They
like
did
on
embrace
Mars?
the meme in the latest
Less.
Mission Impossible trailer. They do
Oh,
have
he
him
could
running.
run so far. Is there a new one coming out? Is it a real thing where he's jumping off a motorcycle and then just like parachuting or something?
Yeah, he base
There
jumps
is
off
a new one coming out.
It comes out
Ugh.
in like 14 months, and they had their
Oh yeah, I
first
saw
trailer.
this.
Yeah.
I saw this. This guy's amazing.
Dude, he's fucking dead on for every single one of them.
Nailed it.
The Jim
100%.
Carrey one at the end with the,
Oh, man.
but the Stallone one is really good when he's got his like head bobbed down trying to go faster. Oh my god, I just got to the Jackie Chan one. That one's so good.
Well, I don't know. I give this Mars thing a thumbs up.
Two.
I'm good with that.
I give it 1 thumbs up, and it get 2 thumbs up if like hell starts spilling through and we get to doom it up. I mean, the plot from the new Doom games is that it's just like obvious. It is an obvious play on like man's thirst for energy and our willingness to go with whatever the fuck we can find. They open up a portal to hell on Mars, and they discover that hell has energy that we can use. So they start harvesting it for use to power our cities and stuff. And how much more like sacrilegious can you get? You're like, I'm gonna mine hell.
Why not? That almost sounds about as good as plants that can grow on the lunar soil if you're trying to live on Mars
Have they tried?
or maybe the moon.
They didn't bring back enough to try, did they?
They did bring back enough lunar soil from the moon to grow some plants. It looks like they grew a whole 3 of them.
Oh, I didn't think they brought back enough material to try.
It didn't work very well, so
Oh,
I mean,
why?
I don't know, probably because it's from the moon.
Yeah, well,
It's not very nutrient dense.
it's not really all that easy to grow stuff in cheese, is it? Except like mold.
Oh, mold grows pretty well in cheese.
Did they say like what the challenges were?
I mean, I'm
It
reading
said
the
it
article
wasn't
right
nutrient
now.
dense.
Was the challenge number 1? It's moon dirt.
Well,
Raisins
actually,
on
challenge
the
number 1
moon.
was you're correct. They didn't have a lot of it, so
Okay.
they only used like.
So it's not like
one-
they made like a raised garden bed with
No.
with lunar regolith.
They
be
used
great if they're
12
bringing that much moon
grams.
dirt.
12 grams, which is just like a teaspoon or 2.
What
Of
the
dirt.
fuck? You can't grow anything in that.
And they grew
can.
something.
What'd they grow? Does it
Fail
say?
cress. Fail cress.
Thale cress. Is that like
Whatever that
watercress?
Delicious.
Sure.
I'm surprised
they-
they didn't try and grow ancient moss.
There you go.
What was that stuff? What was it called in Iceland?
Where? That moss that was on everything?
Yeah, wasn't it
don't know.
ancient moss?
I have no idea. I just know that you were not supposed to fucking step on it because it took a long time to grow.
Which I did not read about that at all before we got there. And I stepped on some of
Walked
it, and
over
you're
all
like,
of it.
"Oh, you're just gonna go out, walk, and destroy all of nature for the rest of eternity." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And you're like, "Ancient moss."
I don't remember. I
was like,
just
"Oh, now
know
I
they
feel like
definitely. So like I don't remember looking it up, but it was either them just wanting you to stay on the path and not be the dumb tourist, or it actually does take a really long time for the moss to grow, which is I think true.
Then I hope.
Well, that could be the case here. It'd take even longer if you put it in moon soil.
Apparently so.
Yeah, I think so.
Regular?
Yeah, ancient
Moss
moss.
has a hard time growing in moon soil.
Yeah, they don't really talk about what was the problem. They just said that it looks like the plants were stressed while they were growing. So,
You look stressed.
I give it a thumbs down for choosing a stressful plant.
I give it a thumbs up for them choosing stressful dirt.
Well, something that isn't so stressed and might grow a little bit better is algae, because apparently you can now power your computer with algae.
Eric says, "What am I, chopped liver?"
Like, how much algae are we talking about?
I don't know. This doesn't look like a lot in this little block. They say that they made a battery about the size of a AA battery, and it ran a computer for more than 6 months.
Off of a AA battery?
Something the size of a AA battery.
Oh,
What kind of computer?
I don't know. Probably a
I mean-
Raspberry Pi.
yeah, like this.
Prob-
Is this a
probably a Texas Instrument calculator.
It's probably true.
It ran a computer. What type of computer? It was an abacus.
had a single transistor?
Wait, what's Eric's problem?
I don't know.
He's
I
chopped
think we
liver
said-
and he doesn't want to be.
I think we said something about nobody's here or something. People didn't show up or something. I don't know.
Oh, what is he chop? I get it now.
So they said, it's called cyanobacteria, and apparently it harvests energy from sunlight and turns it into food. And they apparently packaged this into a plastic and steel enclosure about the size of a AA battery with an aluminum anode. They connected it to a microprocessor that was programmed to do a bunch of calculations.
So you're mining with it.
Yes. And apparently it did this for 45-minute increments, followed by 15 minutes of standby, and it ran it continuously for months, using only that as its power source.
But how many watts? What was the output?
But why male model?
It's,
Okay, here we go. It was a
400 watts.
microprocessor, ARM Cortex M0 Plus, which drew an average of 1.05 microwatts
2000
and an electrical current
Microwatts.
of 1.4 microamps at a voltage of 0.72.
Oh man, I know what I'm
So
doing
we
next.
need a
for next
couple
week.
hundred of those.
You could lick that battery and not even know it. That sounds terrible.
Couple thousand of those.
Oh, you know it was disgusting.
This
It
tastes like
tastes
seaweed.
like the sea.
I mean, definitely more than one. One microwatt? That's not very much.
How many microwatts does it take to make a watt?
1,000. Right?
I'm
No,
asking
more
you,
than that.
how many watts does a 9-volt battery create, or a 1.5 volt battery? I mean,
How many volts does a 1.5 volt battery make?
is it volts? Is that what it is? 1.5 volts. So it would take a million of these batteries to make one.
It would definitely take a lot. It'd be a million of these, Dave, to make 1 watt.
Oh shit.
That's efficient.
I think they might have a size problem.
Yeah.
1.21 gigawatts.
I don't think you'll
My
be putting these
multimeter
on
doesn't
your-
go that high.
What, to 1 watt?
To 1.21 gigawatts.
Oh,
How's that even abbreviated?
gee.
It's funny. It doesn't have to be abbreviated. It's comedy.
I think this is an interesting idea. I wonder, do you have to leave the computer out in the sunlight for it to work?
Well, you at least need to leave the battery out in the sunlight.
True.
You hook it up with a long wire. But that's actually I like this. I like this a lot because if they could have These are, it's like, what are they calling it, a bio battery?
Yeah.
That's huge. I mean, that's a massive thing for. I mean, we're talking about. I mean, in the last article, they talked about literally drilling into hell to be able to mine power or whatever. And if we're that desperate that we're going to go to hell to power our cars and our vibrators, we should be looking at plant-based options. Go vegan.
If you wanna recharge your electronics, go vegan. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Seems to
Algae
make
is
sense.
plants, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a thumbs up if you can use this on Mars.
They can
You
use
Thumbs
it
up.
anything on
to
Mars.
kick off the initial mining of hell.
Yeah, there you go.
Eric said, by the way, I paused the new Jackass movie to be here tonight. Well, joke's on you.
Well, something that isn't a joke is that Apple is discontinuing its iPod. There will be
Yeah.
no more iPods.
There
I
will
thought
be.
they had already done
They'll
that.
just all be old.
Wait,
There
they
will-
still make iPods?
Yeah,
But
Until
it was the
now.
iPod Touch, which was basically a stripped down iPhone.
Yeah.
yeah, and it hadn't been updated since like what 2017 or
Is-
something like that.
Is that an apple
2012,
pie instead of a raspberry
2019.
pie?
There you go.
Yeah, an apple pie raspberry pie.
I really
Get
know
outta
my
here, Brian.
computers.
Get out of here.
And Eric has just gone back to watching Jackass.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's okay because he can't watch it on his iPod anyway.
How long did they say how long they're going to continue to support the iPod though? Like how many more
Till
generations?
tomorrow.
Well, watch Jackass while you can, Eric.
I mean, yeah, they said that it hasn't been updated since 2019, but the design really hasn't changed a whole lot. So I'm not sure how long they plan to support it. I guess I don't
I
know.
imagine probably for like the next 5 years would be my guess.
I'm gonna say 3.
All right. Well, we'll check the records when it happens.
Yeah, do remind me in 3 years.
Okay. I'll put a calendar reminder up. Send you a calendar reminder. Hey, look into that apple pie thing or whatever.
I think whenever the A10 goes out of support is when they will.
Oh, is that
Stop
what it has in
supporting
it?
Yeah, it's got an A10 in it.
Yeah, the A10, that's a pretty good attack helicopter. I can't wait.
Well, that was pretty hardened, wasn't it? That they could probably send that to Mars. I bet. I wonder if that could control a new Mars rover. That's what they should do with all their leftover iPods. Turn them into Mars
Control
rovers.
Mars rovers.
Yeah, I'll give that a thumbs up. If they turn all their iPods into Mars rovers, thumbs up for them.
Oh man, that'd be amazing.
I wonder if they can get iTunes on Mars. Probably because hell's there. So
Yeah. Steve Jobs has
Probably not a live
definitely brought iTunes with him.
he brought iTunes to hell?
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's who the door is for.
Is that Steve Jobs' private entrance into hell?
That's what the scientists are saying.
VIP.
Very smart people are definitely saying that. I've heard that said.
Don't say very smart people. Don't say that. Very, very smart people. Very smart people.
Well, somebody who probably isn't going to land on Mars is a passenger who landed a plane with no flight experience
I
after a
think this
pilot
guy-
got sick.
This guy deserves to go to Mars. for
Ah,
That man
this.
is never getting on an airplane ever again.
But where was the co-pilot? Like, did they both get sick? Did they both eat the same meal? Did they both have
what
the
size
fish?
plane was this?
Yes.
Was this like a Cessna or was this a
Yes.
passenger plane?
Yes.
Was it 747?
Yes.
It was a Cessna Grand Caravan, so that's why.
Hmm.
That's why you didn't have a co-pilot. So yeah, Cessna Grand Caravan's like it's like a 10-seater basically, with a dual props. So yeah, he apparently was up flying around, and the pilot got sick, went incoherent, and the air traffic controller actually managed to talk the guy through landing the plane.
I bet they had fish. He had the fish on the in-flight meal.
The 10-seater in-flight meal.
Did the air traffic controller at any point say, "I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue"?
I love how that gets worse and worse and worse throughout the movie. I picked the wrong day.
It was the
I just-
wrong week to stop sniffing glue.
Was it? Was it he started with cigarettes and ended up somewhere there or beyond?
I think it was cigarettes, drinking, and then sniffing glue.
Yeah, he did other things, I think. Okay, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm
That's
impressed.
awesome, though. I'm
I give this
glad
guy
that
a thumbs up for doing that.
I say
Yeah,
that.
that's no small
pretty
feat.
Yeah.
mean,
I mean, flying a plane is easy. Landing a plane is hard. So, thumbs up to this guy.
That is
Yeah,
very
Landing
true.
a plane safely is hard. You can land a plane pretty easily.
Not
Thanks for the
crashing when you
distinction.
land is hard.
Thanks for the
Landing and
distinction.
living are two different things. Landing and living, that's the difficult one.
Well, something that might not make you living anymore is China's potential hurricane gun, which apparently
What?
Donald Trump wants to know. Do you have it?
We've got the counter to the hurricane gun though.
What is that?
Nukes.
Nukes can
What?
stop a hurricane?
Can you
Yeah.
nuke a storm out of existence?
Yeah,
Can you
don't you
redirect a
remember
swirling
the
cyclone of
president
wind
wanted
and rain
to
with
ask
the
if
Sharpie?
nuking the hurricane that was going to hit.
Didn't those jackasses from Florida just shoot at the hurricane that was coming their way?
They did.
With guns?
Yes.
I mean, I never knew how much stock to put in this story or whether it actually happened, but I'm not going to sit here and think that somebody doesn't shoot at just any random old thing.
If I can see it, I can shoot it. Is that what you're saying? That only makes sense. Well, so is he saying that is this a gun that can stop a hurricane, or is this a gun that shoots hurricanes?
This is just sad.
I
What is
want to
this?
imagine what a hurricane gun looks like.
What are we rounding out tonight's episode with one sad thing?
Yes,
Oh,
just for you.
well, thanks.
A hurricane gun.
Here you
Yeah,
go.
I hope. You know what? It sounds like we're cooking up some Elon Musk pitches, is what it sounds like.
Hurricane
What
That's
we
just-
need is. Okay, I have my Elon Musk pitch.
gun.
All right, I'm going to say thumbs down to the hurricane gun. I'm not sure I understand what it would do. So
I don't either. Sounds ridiculously stupid.
I give a thumbs up to the hurricane gun because it makes my Elon Musk pitch work.
all right, well, with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to our Elon Musk pitches for the week.
Perfect. I'd like to start.
Go ahead.
My Elon Musk pitch is for all the dangerous fights that you get into, whenever someone busts out their hurricane gun. I need Elon Musk to invent hurricane proof vests. That way you can wear them and be safe and protected from hurricane gun shots.
That's incredible.
Is this? I'm so confused.
I want a hurricane proof vest. What don't you understand? I just want him to make one.
Is this make you immune to hurricanes or
It
just
it
guns
is
that shoot hurricanes?
just so that if
Or
someone
guns that
shoots a
are shot
hurricane gun
at
at you,
hurricanes?
I just want a hurricane-proof vest. That's all that I want. Just write it down.
I'm
Write
just gonna
this down.
say that protects you from hurricanes and maybe guns.
Hurricane-proof vest. That's all I need it to be.
Okay, I have a pitch. I'm going to go back to one of my previous ones about my. I have a whole line of these pitches about virtual reality.
Okay.
I
Yes.
think that that passengers should be allowed to have the virtual pilot set up at their seats just in case.
What?
Okay. So you can do first class
Someone can say,
because
"Yeah,
that
well,
was
yeah, you
that
can
was
do
the
first
thing
class."
that we learned about.
virtual
You could
first
do
class.
VR first
This
class.
is virtual pilot. So then someone says, "Hey,
Virtual
pilot-
pilot?
yeah, the
Or
pilot is
I
sick.
thought it was a co-pilot.
The pilot is sick, and then no one has to go up to the cockpit. You've just got someone there in their seat going, I got the plane."
Ah.
Uh,
Okay, so they can control it from their seat virtually.
If someone flips the switch, so the flight attendant runs up
What
front.
if somebody just accidentally bumps the switch?
It's a big switch. It's like a lever. It's like
It takes two
chunk.
people to pull it.
Yeah,
how about a pilot
turn keys. That
that can
like
fit in your
nuclear
hand?
weapons. Click, click. What's that?
How about like a pilot that can fit in your hand?
If
You want a-
want that to
you
be
want a
your
pocket
idea,
pilot?
Go right ahead.
I want a Palm Pilot.
Palm pilot.
That's terrible.
I got 3 laughs, so it's not terrible.
Well,
All right,
that's
It's
also
so-
a
groan
pitch.
and laugh.
So.
It's not a laugh.
So, virtual pilot system for airplanes that allows passengers to take control of the airplane if needed.
Yes. You know what? Thumbs up.
Okay.
Because you could have all these people in the plane doing this. They could be like flying planes and landing planes while they're sitting there. Just as the pilot experience. Pilot goes down. Person with the high score takes over.
Oh, you're gamifying it. I'm all into this.
Gamify your chance to save the lives of everyone else on board.
Wait,
Just
And
in
then
case.
you have the little speech. The little speech before you
Maybe
sit
this
next
is
to
like
the
a
exit
thing.
door.
Yeah, I was gonna say before you even take off. I mean, is this like a little test that you have to go through, like when they come and ask you, "Hey, are you physically capable of opening the door and throwing people
Yes.
outside of it if needed?"
Yeah, because then they'd watch my video footage and go, "This guy has landed successfully every plane he's flown, but into the side of a mountain or straight into the ground, or because I can't fly those planes."
So this sounds exactly like the plot for The Last Starfighter, where they gamified the training experience.
Is that where he
then
uses the Death Blossom?
The fate of the
Yes.
universe rests in the hands of this kid who got really good at a video game at a trailer park in the middle of nowhere.
Because there was nothing else.
2
to
thumbs
do.
up to this idea. I like when movies can become reality.
There you go. Well, okay.
Well, I think my pitch, I'm gonna combine the hurricane gun idea with landing airplanes,
Okay.
and and my pitch is that Mr. Musk should create a gun that can land airplanes when you shoot it.
Okay.
So if people are like on the ground and they see like a plane crash happening, they can just grab their gun and shoot it, and it'll land.
Yes, it
Perfect.
will land faster if you shoot it.
You want like a ray gun that can like freeze things that like you want?
It's like
You want
like a
Incrediboy's
tractor beam.
glove?
It's like a tractor beam.
What did Incrediboy's evil villain name become?
I don't know.
Syndrome.
Syndrome, yes.
Yeah, something like that. I think that'll work.
I like it. Yeah. Safety first.
Nothing more safe than shooting guns at something.
I would
That's
like
what I always say.
I would like Elon Musk to bravely go into the door to hell.
That's a great pitch. Thumbs up.
Perfect. Good with that. All
Right.
right.
Any pitches?
I'm going to take that as a no. All
He's
right.
muted us. He's not even listening to us anymore.
I'm not.
He checks out during the Elon Musk pitches.
Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and call this council meeting adjourned. Thank you all for listening. We do record this podcast live Tuesday nights on YouTube. And if you liked what you saw and want to check out some of our past episodes, you can go to CouncilCast.org. You can also find the audio files on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. And if you want to hear more of Matt's fantastic bottle blowing, you can send us money at CouncilCast.org or I don't care at CouncilCast.org. Check us out on Twitter at RealCouncilCast or find us on Reddit. Thanks for listening and goodbye.
Goodbye.